Hello, good morning students. Hope all of you are well. Today I am going to explain your second chapter of physics, that is physical quantities and measurement. So this is very important chapter. So first, what thing we have in our chapter? First we have unit 1 section, measurement of length. So first we need to know how to measure the length. We'll explain through an example. First we'll get an example to explain these things. What we have, that imagine you take a piece of cloth to a tailor for making a shirt. What will the tailor do? He will first measure the length of the cloth with measuring tape. So where to measure the length of the cloth, what that particular tailor is using, that is a measuring tape. Because this using the measuring tape, he will take the measurement of your body. So after noticing all this, we'll cut the cloth. So here measuring tape, with the help of measuring tape, the tailor will get the actual or the accurate measurement. Then he can cut the cloth and prepare the shirt. So here we can say that length is the basic quantity and measuring tape is the tool employed to measure length. So here the basic quantity is length. To measure the length, what we use here, that is measuring tape. So it works as a tool. It helps to measure the length. Next we have another example. If we want to measure our basic unit, that is time. So how to measure? Basic unit, that is time. Then how to measure it? We can measure it through a tool that is called clock. Next thing is that if you want to measure the mass, so how would you use? What things we will use? There is a balance. In a picture you can see there is a balance. This balance is used to measure Now next thing what we have, that is our next basic quantity is temperature. To read the temperature, what thing you will use? We will use thermometer as a tool that will employ to find the temperature. We have seen that doctors are using, or at home when we have fever or anything else, so that time to clarify it, we will use that particular tool that is called thermometer. Next portion what we have, measurement of length. Suppose we have two rods, for example AB and CD. These are almost equal in length. So how do you measure? Here in the picture we have two rods almost equal in length, AB and CD. So we'll measure in this way. To measure the length, we'll get the 2 points AB and CD. So length is, what we'll say, that length is the measure of distance between 2 points. So this is a distance between 2 points. So length is the measure of distance between 2 points. Next, what we have, need for a standard scale or unit. So what is the necessity having a standard scale or unit? Actually, in the earlier days, people used to measure length with the help of part of body. When there was no standard scale or unit, people used to measure the length using their body parts. For example, such as outstretched palm. In your book, with the picture it is explained, this is an outstretched palm. Sometimes you use also, if we don't have any measurement device, sometimes you use this foot length. When you play in the ground, we are supposed to use this kind of tricks. Then we have arm length or cubit length. Arm length or cubit length. And there's a yard. From here to here, that is called yard. So what is written? Body parts such as outstretched palm, foot, arm or cubit. King Henry I declared that distance from a tip of his nose to the stretched thumb of his sideways stretched arm should be used as a unit of length, that is called yard. So what is yard? In your book, picture is given here to outstretched hand this side, or you can say that side. So this is called yard. So using the body parts to measure things, it is not accurate. So get the accurate measurement, we need to have the standard unit. The standard unit, a unit which is acceptable to majority of the people. That means it is granted everywhere. The unit which is acceptable to majority of people as a basic unit of measurement is called standard unit. So the scientists all over the world accepted a basic set of unit. So the scientists all over the world accepted a basic set of unit, and for the measurement of basic physical quantities like mass, length, time, temperature, etc. So they set a standard international system unit. It is called the SI system unit, or the standard international system unit. What is the purpose of that? That a unit which is acceptable to majority of people as a basic unit of measurement. So according to SI unit, what is the unit of length? Unit of length is meter. Unit of length is meter, and in short, if we write in notation, it will be small m. So students, please carefully note that. So the SI unit of the fundamental unit of in SI system, the fundamental unit of length is meter. It will be in small letter. If we want to write in short form, it will meter. It becomes small m. So this particular unit has some multiple and submultiple. If we consider multiple of meter, so multiple is here kilometer. So meter is not convenient for expressing long length. So in this case we use kilometer. In this case we will use kilometer. And you know that 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter, you already read. Like that, there are submultiples of meter. So submultiples of meter means some length are much smaller than a meter. So in this case you will use centimeter, or in short cm. So 100 centimeter equal to 1 meter, or in short 100 cm equal to 1 meter. You already know that. Now some lengths are even smaller than centimeter. So some lengths are even smaller than centimeter. So in this case we will express that smaller length in the submultiples of meter. These are called millimeter or mm. Millimeter or mm. So 1000 millimeter equal to 1 meter. 1000 millimeter equal to 1 meter. So these are the multiple and submultiple of meter, and in standard international system, in SI unit system, the unit of length is meter. It is expressed in small m. Meter has its multiple and submultiple units. In multiple units, it has kilogram, kilometer, it has kilometer, and in submultiple it has centimeter and millimeter. Now in this picture we will see that how to measure the length accurately with meter scale. So sometimes we'll measure the length. Here you can see two pictures are given. We want to measure the length of this wooden block. So these are the differences given. When you measure, our head should be 90 degree. Otherwise we'll get the wrong measurement. If we take from right side or if we take from left side, there is a difference between in the measurement. You have seen, if this way if we'll take the measurement, it becomes 5.7 centimeter. If we take this way, it becomes 5.5 centimeters. So it should be straight. Our head should be 90 degree whenever we will take the measurement. So the right measurement is 5.6. This kind of error is called parallax error. So we should be very careful whenever we take the measurement. Now in our unit 2 section, it is given measurement of mass and time. Measurement of mass. So measurement of mass. So before we are going to explain about measurement of mass, we need to know what is mass. According to our book, mass stands for the amount of matter contained in an object. So amount of matter contained in an object. So amount of matter contained in an object. So how will we measure the mass of an object? We'll measure the mass of an object, for example gold, silver, diamond, with the help of physical balance. See, in our book physical balance is given. This kind of physical balance you will see in your physics lab also. Sometimes you can see in your physics lab also. The physical balance. Now for it is a very accurate balance and can show even very small differences in mass. So this kind of balances can detect very small differences. So these are very accurate for finding the mass of a substance in general. Just as a grocer's shop, a simple form of beam balance. We have seen in the market, the grocer's shop or any other market, this kind of beam balance are using till date. This kind of beam balance are using until date. So first of all, this physical balance is used for very accurate measurement. And this picture in this beam balance is so simplified form of beam balance is used in the grocer's shop and other people who have the weight thing in bulk. Those who are measuring things in bulk, so they are using this kind of things. So nowadays we are using electronic balance. Nowadays we are using electronic balance. Nowadays we are using electronic balance to measure. So this electronic balance or digital balance give little more accurate measurement. Now there are unit of mass. What is the unit of mass? Before we going to tell the unit of mass, we will remember that whatever the unit will write it is in SI system, that is a standard international system. So the unit of mass in standard international system is kilogram, or in short we can write kg. So mass has also multiples also there. So for stating the mass of heavier bodies or bigger units, we should not use kilogram. So it will that time it will be very small. So in this case you use quintal. So you know that quintal or metric ton. For more heavier bodies we'll use quintal and metric ton. 1000 kg or 1000 kilogram equal to 1 metric ton. 1000 kg equal to 1 metric ton. 1000 kg equal to 10 quintal. 100 kilogram equal to 1 quintal. So these are very important things. You should remember it. There are some multiples of kilogram also. So for stating the mass of bodies less than 1 kilogram, another unit we will use, that is a gram. That is gram. In short we can say small g. For more lesser than the gram, we will use milligram or mg. 1000 milligram equal to 1 gram. 1000 gram equal to 1 kilogram. These two things also you remember. Next we have measurement of time. All of you know about time. So time is defined as an interval gap between two events. So what is time if we say? So it is a interval gap. This is the interval or gap between two events. The interval between two successive noons is called a solar day. The average of all the solar days in which the earth completes one revolution around the sun is called the mean solar day. Now we know that 1 hour, the mean solar day is divided into 24 equal intervals, and each interval is called an hour. What we know about hour, minute, second. 1 hour is further divided into 60 equal parts, that is called minute, and 1 minute is further divided into 60 equal parts, that is called second. So 1 mean solar day equal to 24 hours, 1 hour 60 minutes, 1 minute 60 days, 60 seconds. 1 minute 60 seconds. So number of seconds in 1 mean solar day equal to 24 into 60 into 60 seconds, 86400 seconds. So that means 1 second equal to 1 by 86400 part of the mean solar day. So further, for bigger unit of time, we will use year, decade, century and millennium. Their relation with the SI unit of time is shown in the table. So here we have the table. We know that 1 minute equal to 60 seconds, 1 hour equal to 60 minutes, 1 day equal to 24 hours, 1 year equal to 365 days, 1 decade equal to 10 years. 1 century equal to 10 decades or 100 years, 1 millennium equal to 10 centuries or 1000 years. Earlier methods to measure the time. Earlier in ancient time was measured with the help of water clock, sand clock and sundial. These things we already learned, we already heard. Now reading 24-hour clock. The time of arrival or departure of train, aeroplane, etc. is given by 24-hour clock. Whenever we reached in a station, railway station, or if we go any other airport, we'll see that they set up a 24 hours clock. So what is going on here? A day consists of 24 hours. In 12 hours clock, time from 12 o'clock at night to 12 o'clock at night is given as suffix as am and rest is pm. So what are the rule to converting? Now how that is the rule to converting 24 hours time to 24 hours, 24 hours time to 12 hours time. 00 hour means for 12 o'clock at night, that is midnight. 12 hours means 12 o'clock at noon. So this way we can write 24 hours clock. Especially we'll see this 24 hours clock in platforms, railway platforms, airports, etc. There are some advantages of also 24 hours clock. Few I am explaining. In this system, AM or PM or morning or evening is not used. This prevents a lot of confusion. One of the major advantage. Next is that the time shown by 4 digits. First 2 digits represent hour and next 2 digits represent minutes. And next, the same time is not repeated in this clock for 24 hours. So students, in your second chapter, first 2 units I have explained. I hope these things, this particular explanation session will help you a lot. If you have any kind of question, if you have any kind of query, please inform me and please go through the chapter very well. Thank you very much.